Welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Manticore. It's the tier 10 British light tank. It's located on the westbourne of Studzianki, and it's under the command of the Bassman from Hell. Yes, he sends another replay. He loves his light tanks. In fact, he's gotten rather good at them. Light tanks and Arty. And, well, let's have a look at this battle. One mark of excellence on the barrel already, and looks like he's going to get help from the Object 261, who happens to be Oxidor. Yes, the streamer. He's actually in this battle, and he's on Bassman's side. Okay, Bassman's popped himself in the bush to get spots on the enemy. He's found a Manticore on the enemy team. Now, this little light tank was originally known as the Chimera in 1955, but obviously Wargaming used that name in the game, and so they had to call it something else, and that's where they came up with the word Manticore. It was actually a tank destroyer, not a light tank, as they actually put it in the game, and Bassman's actually turning himself around just in case he has to make a fast departure because of that Manticore. We can see the shells coming up from the enemy, Arty. It's a 105mm gun capable of 390 alpha. We managed to get a shot into that Manticore. He was trying to get one back, but it was just too late. Couldn't get it in. In the meantime, Bassman's decided to go north of the railway line. I think that's a good decision because there's an Object 430U up there, and he can really harass that guy. Now, standard reload is, well, it's quite long because it's 18.42 seconds. Bassman's got it down to 12.57. It's only two players or two crew. You've got a commander and a driver. That's all you've got. So the commander's also the gunner, and he's also the loader. The driver's just there to drive the thing. Okay, we've got two enemy tanks the other side of the copse. And it looks like Oxidor's doing a great job there because he's actually hit one of them. We've got 3 Arty on our team, and it looks like all 3 of them are focusing on the north of the wood at the moment, and if they work together they can probably take out the enemy tanks by stunning them and isolating them, immobilizing them and finishing them off. In the meantime, Bassman's keeping them spotted for the team. He's getting as close as he can. The Progetto's decided to depart the area. He's gone down to that secondary copse. Can't get a shot in from here. So can the enemy at him. So he's just spotting for the moment, just to let teammates know there's a tank. Hit that one, please. You see the giant arrow pointing down on the target. Most of the time, players know that's what they've got to do. Especially Arty players. The Arty players look for those cues because they're looking for somebody telling them, please hit that one for me. Because it means you might get stun assist if you hit the tank that's being spotted. Now, you don't get a whole lot of ammo with the Manticore, only 20 rounds. Bassman's used 2 of them already. He knows he can get a one-shot in the 430U. Yep, easy kill. But he did take a hit from the Progetto, and he needs to make sure he doesn't get hit again by that guy. Unfortunately, he does. And so he's lost 2 amounts there. Yeah, Progetto 65's got a 105mm gun, not the 90mm gun you find on the Progetto 46. So it's a little more dangerous, a little more devastating. He's popped back down again, though. And shells are going in that direction, so Bassman could go over there, highlight those enemy, but he's got to face the fact that he might be receiving fire from those enemy heavy tanks just to the south of us on the at the railway station. Railway station stroke factory. That 60 TP looks quite deadly. Just at the entrance. We can't see the Progetto 65, but we know that there's bound to be some more enemy over there. The STB-1's decided to throw caution to the wind. He's pushing forward. But now we can see the Progetto, and Bassman finishes him off with one shot. Nicely done. Now, you notice the way Bassman's actually driving it. Well, like he stole it, but He's actually driving it now in a 3D, not 3D, it's a 3D perspective, or third person perspective. He's actually driving it around, looking through the sniper view when he needs to, but the rest of the time he's staying in third perspective view, which actually gives him a much better view of what's going on around him and enables him to get shots on the enemy and do quite a bit of damage. 60 TP is vulnerable. He could possibly get a shot into him. Is he going to go the E100? No, go 60 TP. He's trying to make up his mind which tank he wants to hit. He's been firing through the wall. No, didn't get it that time. That was unfortunate. Change his position. It's going to pop up. This time round he will select. Sure. Okay. Now, which one are you going to take out? 60 TP? Yep, got him. Very simple, very nicely done as well. Now you might be wondering why I'm actually mentioning about 3D perspective or all-round vision when you're looking, when you're driving it. Now there's a reason for that. You see, I've watched a huge number of replays of people who've actually earned very, very good medals, like Paul's medals. And the vast majority of those players, when they drive it like this. They drive it in a third player view, or first person shooter view, where you're actually watching the outside of the vehicle and driving it so you can see what's going on around. They're not looking up close, they're actually standing back a distance to get a good view of the enemy. Oh, the Viz-55 was firing in this direction. Oh, we did get us. Ouch, that hurt. Yeah, that's unfortunate. He then fired the second bush after the first bush didn't work. He couldn't see Bassman, but he managed to get the round in anyway. And Bassman, well, he got a hot shot back, but he lost a huge amount of hit points, 505. That's a lot. You don't get a huge amount of hit points because it's a light tank. So yes, if you drive in a third-person view and keep a general all-round view of what's going on, and only flick to the sniper view to actually aim the shots at the target, you've got a much better chance of pulling off very, very large wins on the enemy. And I say that from experience, from seeing so many players win the big ones, the big medals. There's 55. Well, he's going to get this one through the side if he can get the angle right. The guy's actually angling at the moment to prevent any shot from going through. It looks to me like he's angling against Bassman in the wood. I don't think he knows Bassman's over here now. I don't think you can see Bassman. We're just too far away. You see, it's just outside the view rings. He's getting right to the edge of the map. He's decided to head south in the meanwhile. Got some spotting on the Viz-55. Now, who's he going to find first? Remember, 3 enemy Arty. He's looking for a GWE100, an Object 261, and 2 Object 261s, and he's found the gorilla instead. Pumps one into him, gets a nice hit for 388. He also got damage assist, so he damaged the track of the gorilla, and now he's vulnerable, so he can be taken out with one shot, and he got a patrol duty, being the only one spotting 6 enemy tanks whilst they were damaged. We just briefly spotted another enemy, the FB4005, who's highlighting him. Come on, Arty, do your worst. Hit him. Yep, shots going in. Come on. One more. Fire it in. I think Bassman's going to do it himself. He has to. The FB4005 doesn't know that he's here. He's actually sitting behind the house. And now, yeah, Bassman's going to go for the 261. Pumps one in. There goes the FB4005. Opens the door for Bassman to now move south and find the enemy Arty. He's found the GWE, who knows he's been seen. 261 goes down with one shot. We can see another FB4005 down to the south. We're one tank up on the enemy, but we know where the GWE 100 is. This is for Pascucci's. Didn't get it. I wonder what happened there. Did he hit the wreck? I think he might have hit the wreck of the 261. So that's what happened. But the GWE keeps maneuvering. Too late now, and his Top Gun. 6 kills. Showing 4,101 hit points of damage. And there are 2 tanks up on the enemy now. He can take out the Viz 55 from this distance. And he does. That's his 7th kill. 1 more and he gets the Radleys. There's only 3 enemies left. One of them's the Object 261. The other one, the enemy team did have 2. I wonder actually if is he behind these bushes? Oxydor's still in the game. He's right up in the north now in the copse, firing down both sides of the map. Meanwhile, their Object 430U's gone round to our side of the map. He's now trying to clear up down there. He's managed to get behind our Striv 103B. We're still trying to locate that other Object 261, and you know how dangerous they can be. Well, we found one of them is right down over on the other side, and yes, nice. That's a Radley's. So we got the Object 261, but unlucky, we actually lost our GWE100 to their Object 430, which now means it's 2 versus 4. Oxydor is one of them, our team. But that Object 430U seems to be doing rather well, and he's got an Heshbarn, an FP4005, and here he is, and he's full health. That's bad news. And he knows we're here. I think that he got a proximity alert, surely. Yes, he did get a spotting, actually. And he tried to get us, but failed. Problem is, the Object 430U is only a short distance away, just the other side of this burn. And if we go over this side of the burn to try and get the FP4005, and now the 430's behind us. Oh, no. Their Object 430U was just too good. He got 3 kills, huge amount of damage, and he managed to take out the baseman. What's going on around nearby? Well, our Gorilla 15 is now being taken apart. Yep. And there goes the kill. The 430U looked like he rammed him rather than shot him, but now it's just 2 versus 2, and it's both Arty. So this is going to be very difficult for Oxydor to win. You've got 2 tanks like that, one of being played by a very good player, and the other one, well, not so good, but still deadly. This could be very, very bad ending. Unfortunately, Baseman hasn't switched to Oxydor, so we can see what's going on. Oxydor's doing his best to try and get away from the enemy by being unpredictable, trying to get around the enemy so that they won't expect him to be in that general direction. It looked like they were heading north, and Oxydor's trying to get round to the south. That's the 2-minute warning. And they found him. Unfortunately, the 430... Well, no, did they? I'm not sure if they did. The 430U's turned around, so he is going after Oxydor. And if Oxydor moves away from that position, he'll be taken out virtually immediately. I wouldn't be surprised if the Heshbarn is looking elsewhere. And it's unfortunate there. He's doing his best, but now he's been circled, and yeah, there was nothing more that he could do there. He tried to get a close shot at close range. Unfortunately, that 430U drive is just far too good, and Oxydor was taken out. And now it's 2 against 1, and I don't think that T92 HMC is going to last very long. Okay, well, we switched back to Baseman. We can't see it, but the Heshbarn is off in the distance, and he's just been killed, and that means that it is a loss. Well, despite that being an unfortunate end, it was an ace tanker game from the Baseman from Hell in the Manticore. He managed to get a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, in fact he got 7. He got a Radley Walters because he killed 8 enemy tanks in that one, as well as a Dumitrius medal for killing all 3 enemy Arty. Yes, he located the Object 261s and the GWE100. And he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, as well as a patrol duty for being the only one spotting 6 enemy vehicles whilst they were damaged. His win rate was very high, 11,266, Super Unicum and quite a bit more. And of course he did have the help of a very good Arty player on his own team. We'll see that very shortly. We can see the highest damage in the game actually went to the FB4005 on the enemy team, but he didn't pick up a high caliber because that wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. 4,969 went to the FB4005 who was still alive. The second highest damage in the game went to Bassman for 4,756, and the third highest damage in the game went to the Object 430U, who was also still alive. He got 4,454 hit points. So it appears that that Heshpan was actually doing quite well. Even though he only got 3 kills, he did do a fair amount of damage in the game. The 430U got the Pascucci's medal because he killed 2 of our Arty. I think it was the Heshpan who got the 3rd one, so he actually denied his own teammate, a Demetrius. Anyway, if we look at the rest of the details, we can see that when it came to kills, yep, Bassman got that one with 8 kills. The next highest being the 430U with 5 and the FP4005 with 3. And when it came to base XP, it's the enemy team that comes out on top with the 430U getting 1,149. He was the only one to get over 1,000. The next highest being the IS-7 with 953, and the third highest happened to be Bassman with 914. So he did a very high score even though he was on the losing team. The second highest on his team turned out to be Oxidor. Yes, of course, what we'd expect. He got a Confederate in that game because he was hitting a lot of the enemy thanks to the spotting that Bassman was doing. He got 2,405 hit points, didn't get any kills, but he did get 537 XP. And he did get give a lot of support during that game. Not all the Arties were that good. We can see that one of the Arties, GWE100, didn't perform very well, only 677. And the other Arty, the T92, was alive until the end, did get a fair amount of damage, 2,447, but he didn't get any kills either in that game. So let's have a look at detail. Bassman fired 19 rounds. He only had 1 round left at the end of the game, but he got kind of cornered by that Heshpan right down at one end and the Object 430U down at the other. So there was nowhere he could run to try and get away. If he tried to get away, the Heshpan was going to get him. And of course, he couldn't jump over the burn to because of course the 430U would find him over the other side, and he would kill him instead. So in the end, yes, he was trapped. 18 direct hits on the enemy, 16 penetrations. So only 1 round actually went astray, and I think that was one that he fired at the GWE100, but didn't hit the target. In fact, it hit the I think it hit one of the wrecks. And so sadly that's why he didn't get that one as a kill, but he still had 1 round spare at the end of the game, only 1. 4,756 hit points of damage, of which 638 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy, all 4 were penetrations, I'm afraid, because the armor on this vehicle is negligible. He got 1 hit by way of splash as well. 7 enemy vehicles were spotted, 11 enemy vehicles were damaged, 8 were killed, and 6,296 hit points off spotting assist. So he was really doing a very good job at spotting. He earned 85,352 credits from the game, 5,940 for courageous resistance. That's because he got an Epic or Battle Hero medal in a losing or drawn game, and it was a loss, but he did get an Epic medal. 91,292 credits altogether, but at the end of the game, after repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, he actually made a small loss of 21,254 credits. He got 5 bonds because it was tier 10, and 1,371 XP, 754 for courageous resistance again, took away 2,125 experience points altogether. I really don't think that Bassman thought carefully about where that 430U was at when he actually saw the FP4005. It might have been easier for him to actually pull away from the 4005, find a spot where he could use his camo and shoot at the guy from a distance. But where they were on the map at that particular time and place, it was more than likely that they were going to find and kill his teammates, especially the T-92, and then it was just going to be down to the baseman to try and stop them from capping, because they probably would have tried to stay away from him, because after all, he's got a top speed of 68 kilometers an hour, so he can run away from them if he wants to, unless, of course, they're very careful and they try to trap him. But as it was, he fell into a trap of his own making, unfortunately, by going the other side of that burn, and then the Heshpan only had to stop him from moving one end, and the Object 430U could come up behind him and shoot him in the ass, and that's what happened. So nice try for the baseman. He might have actually ended up with a Paul's medal out of this one, but sadly all he took away was the Radley Walters, but I'm sure he'll take that on board. And of course it was nice to see him and Oxidor getting some good shots at the enemy. If you enjoyed that replay, haven't done the armor and the modules, that really does help if we do that first. Let's have a quick look at those. This is the armor profile for this tank, and it's probably better if I go to the live version first. You can see it's very thin armor all around. 40mm at the front there, 20mm on the top, turret area 40mm. There's only a few spots where the armor goes up to 85mm, and most of that's around the cupolas and the like. The bustle at the back, yeah, look, 40mm. This thing is dreadfully weak on armor, so it is very, very easy to penetrate. That's why every shot that hit the baseman went straight through. About the only thing that can stop a shell is the tracks, really. Kind of unfortunate, that's all the gun. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the modules. Okay, we can see the engine's up front in this one, with the transmission directly in front of that. The driver, remember it's only a two-man tank. We can see he's the one with the big cupolas, and he's on the right-hand side of the turret. The commander is on the left-hand side of the turret. He's also the gunner. The radio is behind him, actually in the bustle. And in fact, actually, the ammo rack isn't in the bustle of this tank. It's actually surrounding the fuel tank at the back of the vehicle. Because, of course, the engine's at the front and the ammo's down below. So he must be taking the rounds out of... Whoa, didn't mean that to happen. He must be taking the ammo out of that rack down below and then feeding it up into the main gun, which is why it takes so long to reload, because of course it's the commander who's also the gunner, who's also the loader, and he's having to do all of it, whilst the driver, all he has to do is make sure that he keeps driving to get out of the way of the enemy. So, I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.